Have you ever felt like you were meant for something more? That there's a purpose woven into the very fabric of your being, a destiny yet to unfold. This sense of being chosen, of carrying a torch for something grander than yourself, is a recurring theme across cultures and traditions. From the ancient myths of heroes embarking on perilous quests to the spiritual narratives of prophets receiving divine messages, the archetype of the chosen one resonates deeply within us. Poet Maya Angelou once said, "I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. It is precisely that insurmountable number of others who have come before the chosen, a person who might seem to be many less remarkable mortals, and yet has the potential to illuminate the futures of countless others. Some people are unsung heroes to shape a better tomorrow. Others literally link our world to the place we know it and imagine it can be. Moses freeing his people from abject captivity. Joan of Arc, an adolescent girl who outdid empires with her fierce belief downfall. It is the burden and bliss of being chosen. The road ahead, but the way of the chosen one is neither a cakewalk nor a victory parade. It's a conductivity, a path laden with perils and problems. Yet, as mythologist Joseph Campbell once noted, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek on the other side. The hurdles that appear likely to smash the chosen one may function as the spark that drives their revival. In this paper, I will deal with the complexities of the chosen one encounter. I'll discuss why anguish appears to be a sacrificial component of the trip, and the roles offered to all to rise above them for their lives' true purpose. This conference will provide actual instances and depictions of practice and reveal the profound meaning they have for every person on the earth. So fasten your seatbelts, since I'm about to take you through a magical trip to the stars, destiny, and the possibilities within you and everyone else to make the planet good for somebody. And you ready? Okay, here we move. What is it like to be a chosen one? Imagine a tap on your shoulder, a whisper in your ear. It's not a coincidence. It feels like a critical point, a divine choice on an important mission. The life of a chosen one is, in its essence, Fecundal Location 28, TOC Figure 1. It is impossible to close your eyes, turn around, and go back down the hill while in a job interview. This path is precisely woven into the fabric of your being so that you cannot just pass it by. Chosen ones are not simple people. They have a unique feature. Some raise their heads higher. It seems that they have a shinzin in them. They feel the pulsation of the planet, the silent calls for help. They simply see and feel everything the others don't. It Dav, kind, 103. It is interesting to live with those who do not see so deeply, but it is difficult. Depending on the environment, this differentness can be your fortune or punishment. The chosen one is just as rare as the rare bird whose coloring would be the envy of any Zentangle flock. Manners and behavior can be influenced by this view, and those who do not have it may find it irritating. Their reality is different. It's hard to describe a situation like that to someone who only sees in shades of gray. Then so closely related to how they see a sunset filled with blood and fire, and explain his vision to his comrade, who has not yet learned all these episodes from the Romanesque series. The first, the weight of another dimension. Prince chooses a path of purpose. Siddhartha Gautama, the founder of Buddhism, wasn't what you would call your average chosen one. Sure, he was born into a golden cradle, but the description ends there. The prince, seeking beyond cheesecake and laurels, browses books and miracles, would do better. Aft in compressed days and nights of beguiling touches, on tranquil gardens and moonlit rooftops. But among the white walls, shadows flick, and the well-fed oxen of day lilies begin to wilt the hours. Unlike other princes, marching along, content in their gilded cells reliquary, Siddhartha was acutely aware. Each yearning, nauseous sob was a fire that smoldered beneath the blanket of the linen. A prince destined for a throne, Siddhartha stood and gasped the crying wall shadows and angular calves. Whispers of disease, destitution, and precipitation heeded beyond whispered knees of death. Siddhartha climbed the white-speared steps in lust. Hallucinating murals at the bottom of the pit, his eyes as deep as pools of water filled with milk, he slipped. Siddhartha traded his silken trusses and procured jewels, the burlap robes, seeking an answer. Followed supple waistlines of exhaustion, thorns, and manual leaves, amongst blushing cheeks of ostrich, his own countenance of the eye. What madness was this? Raised in the mountain and oppressed in a bed of thorns beside campfires, what could he discover? His selfish kingdom was commanded to spotless delirium and divestment. No stroke of a hand, nor a smile, an act of a tumescent agent, would satisfy the question to his question. Embracing his sang, his shadows sailed a ship of suffering, not only the helmsman's hand, but also the ship's terror. Only through the eye of a master could Siddhartha know the other. Conqueror of the mountain, his intent was not to calculate cloud-covered corsets, but to take away the evil of all being. It did not restore the Lord, it did not radiate the fire of hope. His victory was accomplished, his name turned into a burning flick, his hands stuck in a tornado. And it's not all. Trouble appears to find these chosen ones, as much as a moth to a flame. It appears as if the villains have an important role. Whoever has the potential to make things better is the most dangerous to the whole darkness and mayhem secret society, but it's true. Chosenness comes with a large serving of opposition, from both your group's resentful rear end and the fuzzy men hanging out in the countryside. Strap in and select one, it'll be a bumpy ride. Jesus, the ultimate chosen one Jesuit, looked no further than Jesus Christ himself. His teaching went against the mainstream, putting him in confrontational conflict with the power and the authority of his era. They ordered his crucifixion, which proved to be the most enduring image of good guy suffering ever. But this was not a sign of weakness on behalf of Jesus. It was evidence of his chosenness. The more substantial the lamp is, the more bug zappers it attracts. Strife as a stimulus, rather than a knockout, a chosen strifes gear them up. It is more about hitting a glass a blow and projecting the shards into a shining diamond. In the same manner, the chosen one's confrontations evolve his or her abilities and their readiness to fulfill their predetermined future. Ripples. A chosen one's win is a win for everybody. The journey of the chosen one offers more than simple growth. It serves as a beacon. The chosen one's win is inevitably more than just for themselves. Instead, it acts as an instigator and ticket unlocked for everybody else. For example, Martin Luther King Jr.'s fight with racial discrimination was more than just his desire to be free. It was a jolt that started an entire seismic transformation. Influencing beyond one's close reality, this gives hope to the others. Your family's chosen. I am certain that you may very well know a chosen in your personal life. There is likely an auntie who goes through long stretches rising for the oppressed, or a cousin that can stop a screaming baby in a single sentence. They may not stride en route of a predicted legend, but your relatives' chosen ones. Indeed, these folks often embody the hallmarks of a chosen one, a deep well of empathy that compels them to shoulder the burdens of others, a quiet strength that allows them to lift spirits in the darkest of times, and an unwavering sense of purpose that guides their actions. It may be easy to dismiss your family members as the chosen ones. However, walk around your family. Does anyone reflect these qualities? Uncertainty is unlikely. Still, sometimes you have to stare a bit harder to discover the seemingly ordinary hero beneath the surface. Does your cousin devote significant time to troubled youth? Does your uncle regularly volunteer at a soup kitchen? Can it be your brother, who always neglects his needs to fulfill the requirements of others? Maybe you are simply your family's chosen one. Sure, being the chosen one is quite the occupation definition, right? Who gives so much pressure to just one person anyway? That weight serves an intention, however. You're the best individual for the task thanks to the fiery stomach courage you have. Consider these obstacles as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. Indeed, it is like increasing the level of a video game every time you've tackled an obstacle. You become more robust, wiser, and much more awesome. Furthermore, these victories motivate the blame out of anyone around you. Medic is a zillion times more appealing than being a ray of rays that show even the worst may be done. You might feel a bit queasy, and that's typical. Nonetheless, you aren't on your journey. You can't see all of them in your view. Nonetheless, tons of individuals are applauding and supporting you. Nevertheless, remember, ripping is rough, but the view from the peak shall be incredible for yourselves and everybody else. If the chosen one notion has been resonating with you, spread the word. Please cryptically mention it to someone who may not have discovered their importance yet. And if you found it lovely, don't avoid being a complete stranger. Smash this button, commit to more inspiring content to drive your awesome way. Until then, keep in mind, you've got this. Proceed, continue to be remarkable, and keep your radiance shining throughout the cosmos. Alright, folks, that's everything for this video. Suppose you felt this message helpful. No reason to rely on what you previously believe it. We're here again on the subsequent one with even more inspiring content for you on your personal path. See you in the next video.